Child, at this point, why is Portia still here? What is her storyline? Do anybody know? Please tell me. Anyway, let me go ahead and get into this review on Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 10, Episode 2. This is my very first review. I see a lot of people doing it, and I just want to give my opinion and my take on what I feel is going on because other people are somewhat biased when it comes to Portia and how Candy feels and all those other things. So let's go ahead and get on into it. Um, this episode starts off with Cynthia bathing in a tub, and body is on fleek for her to be 50. Come through, Cynthia. And she's basically saying how she's ready to get out there and start dating. You know, her and Peter are done. Thank the Lord, because her credit is ate all up from him. So, then we jump into Portia turning her house into basically a family house. Her sister's having issues with her baby daddy or boyfriend or whatever he is. And so her and her daughter are moving in with Portia. I don't think that's going to work because Lauren ain't going to be here for Portia bullshit. But we'll see how that works out in the next few episodes. But I will say, as much as I didn't care for Portia last season, Mama stays beat to capacity, and she was beating that confessional, honey. But then we see her in the kitchen talking to her mom and her aunt, and she's telling them about the party that happened for Cynthia's birthday and the things that happened. Now, my take on the whole party situation, when she hugged Candy, I was just like, oh, no, she didn't. Like, this is still fresh. And while people saying, oh, but Candy need to get over it, Candy need to get over it, what Portia said on national TV, even though Phaedra was the one that created the lie, we understand that. We saw it on the reunion, but it still affected Candy because her and Portia never had any beef really until last season. And then for you to accuse somebody of trying to drug you and rape you, like, that seemed too much for me. Like, people can say what they want to say about Candy, but that could have been very, very damaging to not only her as a person, but to her brand. Look at all the other celebrities that were accused just here recently. Nelly was accused of rape. Like, that is a very serious accusation. And I understand you want to throw shade and do all that, but there's a way to do it. And you don't accuse nobody of trying to freaking drug you and rape you, no matter what. I understand Phaedra's her friend, or Phaedra was her friend, but you've known Candy for all these years, so why would you believe it? So her hugging Candy was just kind of like, I understand you trying to bury the hatchet or whatever, but you have to give Candy time to process that and get over it. People don't get over things overnight. So then we, everybody comes in dressed up as Cynthia, and my best dress, like, for me, it was Candy because her body was snatched for the gods. Portia looked gorgeous too, but I think Cynthia would have never worn that dress. She would have worn the hair definitely, but she would have never worn that dress. So of course Candy wins. And then the whole situation with Nene, I just feel like I kind of get what both of them were saying. I understand that Nene's saying, like, we ain't been friends for just 3 weeks. So why you want to take it back to 3 weeks ago when we've been friends for years? Let's go all the way back to the beginning. So I do agree with Nene when it comes to that aspect. But Nene, girl, I saw the episode of Watch What Happens Live, and you did say that you wanted Portia gone. You didn't use the word fire, but you did say you wanted her gone. So she was just basically running down the whole situation to her mom and saying her and Candy is in an okay place. Okay, but yeah, skip on past that. So Cynthia's date. Child, listen. This man, first of all, who brings somebody on a date and it's a damn photo shoot? You knew exactly what you were doing, sir. You wanted to take Cynthia's pictures for your portfolio just so you can make it seem as if, oh, I have celebrity clients. Like that, for me, if I was Cynthia, that would have been a red flag for me because Cynthia is a well-known model. So why would you just so happen to have a surprise photo shoot set up? Please have a seat, sir. So then they're talking and they're sitting at a table and she's asking him how old he is and he tells her that he's 28 or 29 and she's like, oh, I thought you was 31, 32. That's what I was told. But girl, it don't make much difference. You still got him by 2 decades. So you saying that you thought he was 30 or 31 or whatever, why would that have mattered? That's only a few years difference. He's still a baby and you would still be considered a cougar. Girl, have a seat. Then she said he looked like a swagged out Norbit. Girl, Cynthia, you tried it. You tried that man life on national TV, calling that man Norbit. But it was cute for what it was, but whatever. So, we see Sheree go to see Mr. Jack Daniels, her life coach. And I understand what Sheree is saying, that she wants to tell her kids about the abuse, but girl, you ain't got no babies. Your kids are grown, and I'm pretty sure they have watched The Real Housewives of Atlanta and seen the accusations that you've made against their father numerous times. So for you to have to go see a life coach, and by no means am I saying that what Sheree went through does not matter, but what I'm saying is you don't have a storyline. So you're using this as a storyline. You're going to milk it for all that it's worth. Like, girl, no ma'am, have a seat, please, have several. Like, I can see that emotionally Sheree is still going through things. I'm not gonna say that all her tears was 100% genuine because you was crying, but I ain't seen no tears. So no ma'am, no. Just tell your children these is grown ass kids. Like, these ain't no babies, and I'm pretty sure, like I said, they have watched Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm pretty sure they watched last season. I'm pretty sure they saw what he said to you, and at this point, you just need to, you don't have to do all this to set up a meeting with your friends at Candy's house to do a reenactment of how you should tell your children. To me, that just doesn't make any sense. But I will say her friends did give her some very good advice. The role playing was very good. For if it was for some small children, I would say that the role playing fit. But because Sheree got grown ass kids that don't even live in her house, Cairo's in college, I think Callie's in college, and the other girl, the oldest daughter, I think she is married and she don't even live there. So it's like, girl, no ma'am, have a seat, please. So the next scene is Cynthia and Kenya going on a walk in a park, and I guess trying to find a picnic space or whatever. And Kenya's talking about her husband. Do I think that Kenya is married? I do. I really do think she's married. Do I think that she's in love with this man? No. I feel like maybe she likes him a whole lot, but I don't feel like it's a genuine, deep down, I can't live without you kind of love. Because if that was the case, then for one, you and your husband wouldn't live in two separate states. And for two, if your husband felt a certain type of way about the publicity and the blogs and all that, then you as his wife, you should have said, okay, well, I had a good run on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm going to just go ahead and bow out. And I refuse to believe that this man, you're Kenya Moore. I'm pretty sure this man's heard of you before. You were Miss USA. You were, you did several movies. You've been on Real Housewives of Atlanta for some years now. You're always in the blog. So I refuse to believe that this man didn't know what he was signing up for. So for her to say, oh, I have to protect him, I have to protect my husband because he's not used to this. Maybe he's not used to this, but I'm pretty sure him knowing that you're on a national TV show pretty much let him know that this comes along with the territory. And, I understood what Cynthia was saying about Kenya catching a whole lot of flack because she has. The men in the past, Matt and I think his name was Walter, they both publicly said that Kenya paid them to play her boyfriend on national TV. So when you just pop up married all of a sudden, when just last season you was crying over Matt and his strong, bald head, Mr. Clean looking ass, then of course it kind of looks like, well, is she paying this man? So I kind of understand both sides. I kind of understand where Kenya's coming from, whereas leave me alone, let me be happy, but at the same time, you're living your life on national TV, on a reality show, and if you wanted that much peace of mind, and you were that happy in your marriage, and you just wanted to be with him, then you would have bowed out gracefully and told Bravo, I don't want to do this season, because I'm in a place now where I'm happy and I'm married, but this is the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So you knew what you were signing up for, and I believe that her husband, I think his name is Mark, he knew what he was signing up for as well. So then we see Kandi meeting up with Shamia, and a lot of people have an issue with Kandi and Shamia's friendship, and I feel as if we're all friends. Now, I have some friends that I'm very selfish with. My best friend, she's not allowed to have any other best friends. But I kind of understand Portia being affected or feeling some type of way about Kandi and Shamia's relationship. But at the same time, Portia, you did the same damn thing to Kandi when it came to Phaedra, because Phaedra and Kandi were best friends when they both came onto the show. And then last season, y'all basically teamed up to bash Kandi. And while I won't say that Kandi and Shamia are teaming up to bash Portia, I just feel like it's kind of contradictory for people to feel like Kandi and Shamia shouldn't be friends because of Portia. And Portia and Phaedra were butt buddies last year, and they're trying on African garb because Shamia's getting married, so she's marrying an African man, and I think they're having a traditional wedding in Kenya, and they have to dress up in African garb and things of that nature. And Phaedra, not Phaedra, Lord have mercy, Sheree shows up, and they're all talking, And of course, Sheree can't come because she trying to pay off that high ass house, trying to live beyond her means. And I think Candy said the tickets were, or Shamia said the tickets were $10,000, which was why Portia said that she wouldn't be able to come. Now, this is my thoughts and takes on that whole situation. Now, if you're my best friend, now I've known you, we grew up in the sandbox together, we jumped off the porch together, all that type of good stuff. You're my best friend and you're getting married. Portia, you drive a goddamn Rolls Royce. Not only that, you claim that you have all these jobs. So you're telling me, are you telling the world that you can't buy a ticket to go to Kenya to see your best friend marry the love of her life? Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me. And while people say Candy is, to me, is a real friend, because like Shamia said, I ain't even known you that long, and you spending this type of money on tickets to come to Kenya to see me get married and be a part of my wedding experience. So say what you want to say about Candy, and yes, Candy do have the coin, but so does Portia. Portia may not be as rich as Candy, but you spend $8,000, $10,000 on a bag. So you telling me that you can spend $10,000 on a plane ticket to go see a friend get married? Now, Candy, as much as I love Candy, In my head, Candy is my sister, but when she said in her confessional, oh, well, I'm glad that she ain't coming anyway, that's less drama than I have to worry about. Candy, I feel like this. You shouldn't be so bothered when Portia's in your space. Just like last episode, when she walked up to the table and you walked away. Candy, you're a bad bitch and you doing big things. So I don't understand why you get so bothered in her presence. And I get what you're saying. Oh, I don't want to be around her. I don't want to be fake. But you being in the same vicinity as somebody doesn't mean you have to have a conversation with them. It doesn't mean you have to talk to them. So you can't really say, oh, I don't want to be fake. Being fake to me is you and her kikiing with each other, knowing damn well y'all don't like each other. That to me would be considered fake. But I kind of get what Candy is saying. Like, I don't want to be around her, so I'm gonna remove myself from the situation. But whatever, child. So the whole scene with Portia and her sister throwing out all the meat in her house, I feel like it was kind of a filler scene. It didn't really give us anything other than Portia is becoming a vegan, and who cares? Anyway, so then we see Kenya, and she's in her house with her dogs, and she's showing them her wedding dress. She's putting her veil on. Then her friend, her good Judy, Brandon, calls, and she's telling him, oh, I'm looking at sand in my wedding dress. Why your wedding dress still got sand on it is beyond me. But, okay, girl. So she basically is telling Brandon that she don't know how her husband is, dealing with all this stuff. He can't eat, he can't sleep. I don't understand why it's affecting him this much, because if the rumors and the blogs aren't true, why they're affecting you. I understand that you live your life privately, and this is all kind of new to you, but if this is your wife and this is who you love and you're going to support her or whatever, then I don't feel as if it should affect you so much. That's just my opinion. And then for Kenya to break down, like, I could tell that was a real scene because she pulled production into the bathroom with her. And she was just telling her, you know, I don't want to get a divorce, and I don't see why this would be a deal breaker for you. If that man that you're married to is saying, okay, well, because the blogs are saying this about our relationship, then we should get a divorce, then he don't love you anyway. So I have a love-hate relationship with Kenyon. I like her sometimes, and then sometimes she just seems too much for me. But I do feel like she genuinely wants to be happy, and she genuinely, you know, wants her marriage to work. So I hope, you know, everything works out for the best for her. Um, but this was my thing. She said they wanted to have a private wedding, private ceremony, and all that good stuff. But there were pictures of your wedding in the blogs. So either you leaked them, or there was some paparazzi around, or somebody that was there leaked those photos, because how else would we have known that you were married? I mean, if you wanted to do things privately, then it should have been you and him and the pastor and kept it moving. If you felt like you wanted to tell the world when you were ready, but those pictures got to the blog somehow, which is how we all knew that you were married. So I kind of feel like, did she leak them? Did she want the public to know that she was married? I mean, you never know. People do anything for a storyline these days. But I hope she didn't. But like I said, I hope her marriage works out for her. And yeah, they work everything out. So, Noelle and Cynthia's relationship, I love their relationship. It's a very open relationship, which is the kind of relationship I wish I could have had with my mother growing up. But Noelle's going to Charlotte to see her boo thing child, and Cynthia's okay with it because Peter's there, and she knows that Peter will watch out for Noelle. So then she asked about Peter, and I'm like, girl, that Jamaican girl, he done put something on Cynthia. Like, you stay worried about this man. Even last episode, when you called, asked him to come to your party because you wanted him there, and you were saying this is the first birthday that y'all would be apart. I get it, I understand it, but it's clear that Peter has moved on. So Cynthia, I think you need to do the same. And then Noelle was like, girl, he'll be asking about you. And you was like, Cynthia was like, oh, well, don't tell him I asked about him either. Like, girl, just Cynthia, let it go, girl. Let that Jamaica ping go find some more, honey. So then she tells Noelle about her date, and Noelle asked her how the guy was, and she told him, and Noelle was like, no ma'am, nope, no ma'am, not gonna happen, nope, not gonna do it. Noelle said, that's not socially acceptable. It is more socially acceptable for me to date him than you. And I think Noelle genuinely wants her mother to be happy. And at the same time, I think she wants Cynthia to get to a place within herself that she's secure. And I don't really think that Cynthia is all the way over Peter. I think there's still some lingering feelings there for Peter. But like I said, it's clear that Peter has kind of moved on by the conversations that he's had with her on the phone last episode, it was kind of like, girl, what you want? Like, that was the tone that he set for the conversation. So I think Cynthia just needs to move on and do her, girl. Get you some young ping. You ain't gotta marry the nigga. Just, hey, shut up. Get you some. So, Shamia's bridal shower was interesting. It was cute. The ladies, they had high tea, and a lot of people were saying, "Oh, Shamia's trying to be like Phaedra because this is something Phaedra would have done." I wouldn't necessarily say she's trying to be like Phaedra. I just think that she wanted a classy event, but mixed with a little ratchet, because them games they was playing, child, ratchet. Portia comes in with her sister, and then Portia wears her wedding ring to the event, and it's just like, huh? Like, it didn't make sense to me. And Lauren was like, why are you wearing your wedding ring? Like, girl, no ma'am. No ma'am. No. Portia, girl, please sit down. Like, please have several. So she walks in, she speaks to Candy, and Candy's like, hey, how you doing? But then, like, they sit down at the table, and it's just silence. It's just like, y'all could have, like, casually had some type of conversation, but it was crickets, bitch. So Candy gets up and walks away, and Sheree's like, awkward, like, leave it to Sheree to start some mess. And Shamia shows up, and her outfit was sickening. Shamia is a beautiful chocolate. That melanin is popping, honey. I love Shamia. So Candy hugs Shamia, and she's telling her, you know, you made us wear hats, and you just got on the headband. And Shamia was like, yeah, girl, I had to do something different. You know, I had to, be different from y'all, which is understandable in all that aspect. So then, what happened next? Lost my whole train of thought. So then, they put the wiener in the hole or whatever. And of course, Sheree little thought pocket wins the game. And so then they get back to the table, and Sheree had asked Portia, was she going to the wedding? She said, no, I can't go. By the time we try to book our tickets, the prices were a little steep, and then she's like, I can't do coach. Well, I'm going to leave that alone, because Portia says she got a sickness that I had never heard of. I was going to Google it, but I don't really care. She says she can't sit and coach because of her condition, which didn't make any sense to me, because an airplane is an airplane. Be it that you're in coach or first class, I didn't really think it made a difference, other than the whole setting and the whole layout of it. But you're saying, oh, I can't do coach because of my condition, just didn't make any sense to me. And then Shamia's like, they're talking about her dowry, I think that's what it's called. And she's like, oh, well, Portia, I was surprised that you showed up. And Portia's like, why? Why was you shocked? Why was you shocked? Like, for me in that situation, I feel like Portia egged it a little bit. Because once Shamia said, oh, I was shocked that you showed up, it was kind of like, because we haven't spent much time together in the last year. So I kind of got where Shamia was coming from. Like, yeah, bitch, I was shocked to see you. Like, you ain't been fucking with me since you was fucking with Phaedra. So it's like, you showed up to my dowry I was happy to see you, but also shocked. Like, and she has the right to feel that way. And Portia kept saying, "Why were you shocked? Well, why were you shocked? Why were you shocked?" So Shamia's like, "Girl, we ain't been talking. We ain't been clicking like that in the last year. You know what I'm saying? It's been a while since we hung. So yeah, I was shocked. I didn't know if you were coming, even though I had invited you, but she invited her to her engagement party and she didn't show up to that. So just saying. Um, so then, hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. Oh, that's kicking in. But then, Candy and Carmen, as Mama Joyce say. Now, the whole, oh, it was funny. She always got a note for everything, or whatever, a doctor's note, or whatever. That was funny. That was shade, because y'all remember last season, Phaedra brought a doctor's note when they went on their camping trip. But Carmen saying she can't have her legs down for so long because she used to having them up. Now, for me, that was where Candy, and Candy, I love you, girl. I'd rather die for Candy. But that was where you should have drew the line in the sand. And I do feel like sometimes Candy likes to throw rocks and then hide her hand. So Candy, yeah, I have to call you out on your bullshit when it comes to that, because it's like you allow your, not only your mom, but your candy coated clique, as everybody say, you allow them to do and say things that are sometimes hurtful and mean. And I feel like at some points or at some times, I'm not going to say you put them up to it, but you make it seem like what they're doing is okay. And it's not. And I feel like Portia's feelings were hurt because of the look on her face when Carmen, it ain't like Carmen was whispering. Like, she was talking very loudly and clearly, like she was just having a casual conversation. And I just feel like at some point when y'all kept going, it kind of, I'm not going to use the term bullying, but it was kind of team too much. And like I said, I'd rather die for Candy. Like, I will argue a bitch down when it comes to Candy Burris Tucker, honey. But I'm also not going to be afraid to call you out on your bullshit, Candy. And that was some bullshit. And I just feel like y'all were lightweight attacking Portia. And if she had attacked back, then it would have been an issue when y'all were making slick comments the whole time, and that, to me, that just wasn't cool. Because for one, Portia wasn't even talking to y'all; she was talking to Shamia, and for two, I kind of get what Portia was saying. Like, well, you trying to call me out in front of the candy coated clique, but at the same time, Portia, you're on a national TV show, and it's not like nobody knows what's going on. So then Portia's like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and go. So she gets out, they get up and leave, and then like 10 minutes later, Portia and Shamia are going at it, child. And I just feel like Shamia had the right to be upset, because it's like, if I have been there for you, if I have supported you through your trials and tribulations, or I've supported you in your business adventures, and you can't even show up to one of the most important days of my life, then yes, I'm going to feel some type of way about that, because you're my best friend. Like, I ain't just meet you last year. Like, we have years and years and years and years of friendship. So yeah, I'm going to feel some type of way. Like, I'm getting married in August, and I would feel so bad if my best friend did not show up, because she's my maid of honor, for one, and for two, she's my best friend. Like, you want your best friend there on your special day. So I kind of understand where Shamia was coming from, and I kind of understand how Shamia was feeling. And then Portia just acted like she didn't care. It was kind of like, all right, whatever. I don't want to talk about it anymore. And then Shamia was just like, all right, you know what? Like, at this point, Shamia, let that friendship go. Because I feel like I said, Portia don't care. And at this point, why should you care? I understand it's your friend and you love her, but at the same time, just because you love somebody doesn't mean you have to be around them, or you have to have a relationship with that person. You can love them from afar, which is what Portia said about Shamia. When Shamia hasn't done anything wrong to Portia, Portia is the one that has wronged Shamia. So, that's my take on that whole situation. And those are my thoughts on Sunday's episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 10, episode 2. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Like I said, this is my very first review. I'm very excited about it, and I'm very excited about the future reviews to come. I am Yoshi, and you can like and subscribe to my channel. And thank you all for watching. Y'all have a good night.